Alright, what's up, guys? Hope you are all having a great Wednesday evening, or morning, or night, or wherever you are in the world. I'm just setting up the list with the altcoins we are taking a look at tonight. So if you guys have any shortening requests, you can just type them out in the chat and I will add them to the list right away and we will take a look at them together tonight. What's up, Aaron? Welcome to the stream. So we're gonna start the stream in about 4 minutes. So official starting time is 8. It should be 6 UTC, I think, because I'm UTC plus 2. So yeah, it should be 6 because it's 8 here. So we're starting very shortly. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in here. What's up, Ivan? Welcome to stream. So I really do appreciate you guys joining tonight. It's really great to see you all in here. Evening, BRT Crypto, or is it Bard Crypto? Alright, so I think I did I did cover that in my... I'm pretty sure I did cover that in my webinar from my last webinar. Let's see if I can... Did you see my last webinar that I did in the Nest Club? You know, I can probably just go over it. Go over it tonight. So let's just do that tonight. Whenever I see a good example, I will explain to you why I think that's a good retest, right? Oh, BERT. So it's BERT Crypto. All right. I did that webinar. When did I do that webinar? Yesterday. So I did that pretty late yesterday. Honestly, not the greatest webinar. It was just a market update, and I'm pretty sure I went through, you know, the breakout, the retest, and why when the retest is a good retest. But I can, like, if you watch this one tonight, I will definitely go through details of that tonight and show you why I think a retest makes sense after a breakout and all that fun stuff. All right, so it's time to actually start the stream. So yeah, let's go. All right, what's up, guys? So I'm going to... what do you think about my new layout? Everything. It's just I'm adding some stuff to the stream. And first of all, I want to say thank you to Prime XPT for helping me out here and sponsoring my channel. And Prime XPT is my main exchange, so I figured it would be very fitting to actually have them as a sponsor to the channel. And as you guys know, we also have a partnership with Prime XPT in the Nest Club. So if you guys are from the Nest Club here, we Yeah, you know all about it, right? So first of all, like the schedule tonight is I'm probably going to do like 10 minutes. And when I said 10 minutes, it's more like 20 minutes. And when I say 30 minutes, it's more like an hour. If you if you've been watching my webinars and my streams, you know that they tend to be way longer than expected. But the schedule, and I think that's because I talk way too much. Hopefully you guys don't think I talk too much and I ramble on and with bullshit, but hopefully it's educational for you guys. So what I'm going to look at tonight is BTC versus the US dollar on Bitstamp for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to do about 20 minutes of a breakdown of what altcoins I'm currently looking at, what positions I'm in, and how I'm going to manage those positions. Some are in a loss. I'm gonna look at them and ask myself, is it worth being in this position, or should I cut my losses early? The other ones are in pretty good profit, so I gotta ask myself, where do I place my trailing stop? Where do I let them run to, and how I'm going to manage those. And after I've taken a look at the alts, I'm going to do a market scan of the Forex market. So let's just begin with Bitcoin here, and I haven't really prepared this chart. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the moving averages here to the chart. So I'm going to adjust these horizontals, and as you guys know, I like to put to have my horizontals, to have my, the important moving averages that I'm looking at. I want to have them as horizontals on the map, because mine, like when I started trading, all I did was look at horizontals, and that's pretty much now also the basis of my trading system. And it's basically, to be honest, it's the basis of all trading systems. All right. So, and like having the moving averages on the chart like this, it just confuses me. It's just way too much stuff on the chart. It's just removing them and adding the horizontals is just, it makes for a more pretty chart. And you know what? I think I have to clean out some levels here, but I'm not going to do that right now because price action is honestly pretty boring at the moment. But I really do think we have a big move coming very shortly, and we like the way we need to prepare for this is we need to, let me see, I got a message here, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. We got some problems with our youngest child. He's not really ready to go to bed, so I might have to help out with that. All right, sorry about that. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. All right, so I'm sensing we have a huge move coming, because usually what happens when price action kind of compresses in this very, very tight range, especially with at important levels, and we are definitely at a very important level right now for Bitcoin. We are close to high time frame support, right? I mean resistance, and that area is basically the area between, well, basically I'd like to add 10k to that area, so I would say between 10k and 10.5k is very strong high time frame resistance, right? And when we see price really compressing into a very tight range like we're seeing right now, on the 4 hour you can see we have this range, the white dotted lines here. And right now we're seeing price just bouncing around between the middle of the range and the range high. So between range EQ and range high, we got just sharpness, right? And the 21 EMA is currently right now on range EQ. So the fact that, I mean, when I drew this line, this range for the first time, we had the 21 EMA in a daily right at or even below range low, right? So that was really adding confidence to range low being, strong support. And now that we have the 21 EMA in a daily confident with range EQ, look, it's right on the line, right? That makes me think that if we get a breakdown of this range right here, it's not looking very good, because that means we are most likely going to lose the 21 EMA in a daily. When the 21 EMA in a daily was in this area, I wasn't really feeling very nervous, because we could be bouncing around up here and still, you know what, let me change the thickness of that one like that. Good. So we could be bouncing around this range and still not lose the 21 EMA in a daily. But right now I'm really feeling that if we lose the range EQ, I would be looking for lower targets. Now looking at the daily, we still have higher highs and higher lows. But the fact is that this isn't really a pretty higher high, right? What you want as a higher high is a rounded action, right? You want, like, this is, if you're looking at the 4 hour, right, this was just a classical BART pattern, right? And if you look at this high here, it's more natural, right? Same with this price action here. This is just a impulsive fake out-ish move, right? So I'm not really feeling that as a higher high. So if you remove this price action, obviously you can't remove price action, that would be great, but you can't. If you remove the top of these candles, we're actually seeing, lower highs, right? And we're getting that, wedge pattern, right? So I'm thinking, what, I just got an alert here. I've accidentally removed it. Where is it? EURUSD. Oh my fucking god, this is insane. So guys, I just gotta look at EURUSD. I'm in a trade here on CAD JPY. EURUSD. This is this is just crazy. So if like I've opened a short recently on EURUSD, because basically everything said just short this. We were in the short RLC, we were getting reacted by weekly 200 simple. We had the RSI, go from oversold from above 70 to below 70. This was just screaming short. Obviously that's not really what happened here. This is a pretty insane move here from EURUSD. So we're gonna take a look at that in just a minute, but we'll go back to BTC USD. And yeah, so what were I saying? Yeah, so we are most likely seeing a strong move from Bitcoin shortly, and because of the fact that we do have a weekly downtrend right now, because we haven't really created a higher high on the weekly yet, so we still have a downtrend, right? And that downtrend would start to change into a uptrend, a bullish trend on a weekly, if we break above 10.5k, right? And this area here, the 9k area, it's obviously very strong resistance, and if we get above this level here, we are most likely going to test 10.5k, and the next time we test 10.5k, I do really think it's going to break to the upside. But because of the higher time frames, the weekly trend is down. I have to be cautious with buying Bitcoin right now because we are at high time frame resistance and the weekly trend is down. And when you have the higher time frames being bearish, and I might add to that the daily has been looking extremely bullish all the way from down here, right? Higher highs, higher lows, all the way up until we made a lower high here. So we are still starting to see a potential break in market structure on the Bitcoin daily chart. But yeah, like you might have understood here, this is not a good area to buy Bitcoin. This is not a good area to long. This is not a good area to short. Above range high, above 10K, you might want to long to 10.5. Below range EQ, you might want to short to range low. And below range low, and with the daily 55 EMA being so close, I would like to, see price trade below the daily 55 EMA for a move lower. And if that happens, we have the 200 EMA and 200 simple down here. So I'm really thinking if we break down, in my opinion, it's first what you want to look at is you want to see where is the RLC, right? The reload zone. And that's going to be all the way down here. And obviously, I don't think we're going to dump that unless we are super bullish and we are going to continue the weekly downtrend. But levels of interest if we break from this area is this area here around 9.5 and this area here around 7.8, 7.7. So those are the interesting areas for a potential long. And you also notice that we had this crazy breakout here. And we have the breakout level being untested here. So I really do think that 7.8 is a decent level if we break down from current prices. But we have support on the way down. So one level at a time. Very important, guys. You're going to take it one level at a time. So if range EQ fails, range low is next. After that, the 21 EMA on the weekly, 200 simple and 200 EMA is next. Below that, we have 7.8K. And above current price, we have 10K major resistance, 10.5K major resistance. So that's what I'm looking at. If we break above 10.5K, I'm looking at 11K, 11.5, and obviously just, this area here. And yeah, we break above this area, that's probably going to be when we go visit all-time highs. So that's my views on BTC. Now let's go over a couple of altcoins. So first we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. We are seeing the Bitcoin dominance chart. Actually, we're on the wrong chart here. So we're seeing the Bitcoin dominance chart actually finding some support down here. Right? So let's see, it's this general area here, right? So we're finding some support here, and it's as expected because it's it's support, so we should see price reacting to that level. What I do like though is this bearish retest here, which means that I do still think that altcoins are in a risk on environment, and basically what I mean by that is as long as we do not break this downtrend that I drew out here so beautifully, if we don't break this downtrend, we are most likely going to test this area and maybe even the area down here. And that means that altcoins will still perform pretty well against Bitcoin. But the fact that we are most likely seeing a pretty strong move from Bitcoin in the next days, maybe even the next hour or next week, we have to be very cautious with altcoins right now. So I'm gonna go over first the altcoins that I'm in right now. So we had the trade on 0x in the bird nest, and it worked out just beautifully, right? Just goddamn beautifully. And this is why I like to long the RLC. I mean, just look at this. This is the RLC. When you see stuff like this happen over and over again, why would you not want to long this, right? So I think, I'm not sure if me and Aperture are looking at the exact same take profit areas, but I mean, this is looking extremely bullish. I mean, extremely bullish. This move is just very, very nice. So let's see, I'm up, obviously up quite a bit on 0x, and I'm thinking that I have my last take profit at 46.68, 47.68. So 47.68 is my last take profit. Why it's up there, I do not know. I should probably have it lower, honestly. And I think I might actually have to adjust that one. So let's see, do we have any interesting levels here? I do like this level, just because I want to front run this 46.91 level. So I'm liking these highs here. Let's see, that one. So 45.73. Take profit 45.73. All right. So I'm using 3 commas here. You know what's nice about a setup like this one when you have a 5R is I'm risking about 1% of my capital on every trade, right? So if I can lose quite a lot of trades, and I can lose quite a lot of trades and still make it all back in one good trade. So technically I could lose 5 trades, and with this trade being a winner, I make all those losers back in one trade. So I've actually had like 2 losers before this one, and this one in combination with KMD, I'm going to show you that one too. I've actually made it all back times like 5. So that's all about risk management. So the last couple of days I've actually had more losers than winners, but I actually made quite a lot of money by letting my winners run. So I'm using 3 commas, right? And 3 commas is a trading bot. I'm pretty sure you guys know about it. It's not a bot that trades for you, it's just a bot that will place orders for you on the exchange, right? So you can place different kinds of orders at the same time. So what I'm looking at on 0x right now, so I'm going to obviously, and yeah, I said earlier that why wouldn't you buy the RLC? Well, I didn't buy the RLC here. I waited for a bounce in RLC and bought the retest of the 618 Fibonacci level. So yes, yeah, and that worked out just beautifully. So this is a textbook example of my trading style in altcoins. Silica, yeah, sure. I'll take a look at Sale BTC. Definitely, I like that one. So yeah, really do like this one. So now we're gonna manage this trade, right? So how do we manage our trades? So like, obviously you don't want to exit everything right now. So let's see here. Have I actually taken some profits on this one? So let's see. Have I? All right. So I've actually taken 3 profits already. So the first profit area was at 38.85, and that's 38.85. That's here. So that's my first take profit area. The second one was 42.38. 42.38. So around this area was my second take profit. And now my last one, I'm gonna adjust to 55.73. All right, so 55.73. Gotta edit the trade, and last take profit is going to be. Seems like I actually can't edit that one, which is weird. Can I just remove it? All right, so I can. 45.73. I'm gonna add 45.73. Now I'm going to add a trailing take profit, and basically what that means is if price hits this level right now, I'm going to add a trailing stop, a trailing take profit, which means that a profit area, a profit taking order will be placed 5% below that area, right? So it's going to be placed down here, which means that if price just continues upwards, it's going to follow price up like this until it actually, reverses and hits the profit taking area. And I'm also going to move my stop loss up into profit on this one. So I want to place it below a 4 hour, I think 1 hour is better on this one. So 1 hour swing low, which I want to have at this area down here. So that's going to be my stop loss level. Actually, let's do it 35.98 like that. So I'm going to add a stop loss order at 35.98. Let's see, how far down is that? Alright, so that's 11%. So we can actually just use a trailing stop on this one. $35.98. Yeah, that's perfect. So trailing stop on this one, and take profit is a trailing take profit. So let's see how that's going to work out. I've actually, just started using 3 commas. I really do like it. Now let's see how this setup actually works out, and if it's a good idea to use these types of tools in 3 commas. All right, so another one I'm in is Bet BTC. If you guys remember the setup from from the bird nest, I entered down here. So this one, I'm obviously nothing to look at just yet. I've got these take profits set here. So that's just something I'm watching right now. KMD is another one I gotta check. This is another one I'm in. I share this with my private students, and yeah, this one is looking really, really good. I'm actually going to, let's see, have I taken some profits on this one? Yeah, so actually I've taken the first profit at 30, what's the wrong one? It's KMD. No, so I got the first take profit right here. I'm going to add a trailing stop loss on this one, and I want to have it at 728. So I'm going to edit that one. Trailing stop 728. So the reason why I'm doing this is I want to really see 728. Like, I want to really protect my capital here, because if Bitcoin is really going to, break out here or break down, alts are most likely really going to suffer here, right? So I want to protect my capital, protect the current, my current wins. It's pretty simple, right? So this is 728. So I'm just gonna adjust the stop loss here to 728 and use a trailing stop on that one. Also, I got a 5% trailing take profit on the last one up here. All right, so that's good. So I've secured my positions on KMD and 0x. So that's good. Bad BTC. Well, I mean, if Bitcoin pumps or dumps here, I'm most likely going to hopefully have the time to close this one, or I'm just gonna get stopped out and I'm gonna lose 1% of my trading capital, and that's all right because I've won quite a lot on KMD and 0x, right? So another one I'm in is Troy BTC, and this one is also one of those, buy the RLC, buy the long RLC, sell the short RLC. So I do like this one, right? It's something I'm in, and yeah, I mean, we're getting on the 4 hour, we're getting higher highs and higher lows. It's happening inside RLC. So I do like this one. I do think we are going to see a bigger move from this one if BTC lets it, right? Where do you normally place your take profits? Well, normally I place my take profits at the first take profit is always going to have to be at your first trouble area. Now let's see if we can find a chart with a good example of a trouble area. So let's see if we can check one that we haven't checked yet. So BTC, FET BTC. So here's an idea I was looking at. I did not take this setup myself, but I did share it in one of my videos here on YouTube. I do know some people actually took this trade, so congratulations to you guys who's in this one. It's looking quite good, and you should be up a good amount. If you reclaim this high up here, if you get a daily close about this area, or maybe even a 4 hour open close, I would recommend, well, I'm not your financial advisor obviously, but I would recommend you to move your stops below this swing low here, so below 267, to limit your losses in case Bitcoin runs or the pumps or dumps, right? So this is a good example of where to take profits, right? So let's go down into 4 hour. Actually, let's remove let's move that one over there. All right, so here you're seeing something, right? This is a resistance area, right? So price is trying to get above this area right here. So this area is acting as resistance, right? And I'm also going to talk about the breakdown, the breakout, retest, and all that right now. So pay attention. This is resistance right now, right? So price comes up and it's testing resistance right there, right this. Test, rejection, test, strong reaction, third test, most likely another reaction, and the fourth one most likely going to break out. So what happens when it breaks out, right? And there's a couple of ways to trade. Alright, sorry about that. I gotta send some messages to my girlfriend. We're trying to I'm trying to figure out how it's going with my son. Maybe he's getting sick or something like that, because he's never really having any troubles like this. But all right. So this is resistance. Now there's two ways to trade a potential breakout of this area. So one way of trading this would be to just place, and I do not recommend this type of trading, but some people do, and some people make money trading it. So I mean, you do whatever you do, right? Whatever you gotta do to make money, go ahead, right? So you could place a buy up here, and the stop would be maybe down here or even down here, but I would like to place the stop below the thrust candle, and the thrust candle is the candle that breaks through the level, right? So below the thrust candle or below the last swing low in the 4 hour, wherever, right? Now your take profit area is going to be at the first trouble area. All right, so yeah, so that might be confusing. So So I'm just quickly going to explain like the retest and all that, and after that I'm going to go into detail on like or just an overview of how I'm mapping out my levels, like these boxes and everything, right? So this is the breakout trade, right? And the first trouble area is going to be basically the first area on your chart that you expect price to run into resistance. And resistance is an area that was support before, right? So basically what you're looking for is last support. So last support is going to be your first trouble area, and that's going to be your first take profit area. Right, and ignore the risk to reward on this one. The risk to reward on this one is 1.26. Never take a trade below 2R. That's my recommendation. But if you're looking at this chart, it's quite obvious here now that the first trouble area so the breakout level here is obviously like the breakdown area. The thrust candle is this one, right? So the first trouble area should naturally be this area, right? So that's going to be your first area to take profits, right? So that's the first trouble area, and that's the first take profit area. Now let's go back to KMD and 0x. So for KMD, if you enter here, obviously this level up here, this area should be your first take profit area. After that, you have this area here being used as support, being used as resistance here, right? And resistance here. That should be your another take profit. I mean, this could be a take profit area too, with this being used as resistance. Got these wicks here, and you know this down here. But what I'm looking at is the strongest levels. The strongest levels, right? The levels with the most touches, right? You can also use a line chart to find this level more easily. I mean, line charts are very useful in finding. Yeah, exactly. That's just all it is. I mean, it's as simple as that. That's basically all it is. You take profits at a level that was support previously, and you're not coming up to either test it for the first retest or the second or third or whatever, but you should take some profits at resistance. And prior support getting lost is most likely resistance now. All right. And on the line chart, you can very clearly, when looking for profit taking areas, the line chart is very, very useful too, because you can clearly see that you have this level here, this level here, here, you know. So the next time you come up to this level, you can expect some kind of retrace, right? And what the line chart does, it's only taking into account the actual closes, not the wicks, right? So it cuts out all the noise. Very useful when scanning and looking at, you know, good idea to, you know, get a cleaner chart and check the actual, like, you know, cancel out all the noise. So this KMD, let's take a look at 0x. Let's see if we can find, I don't think I have to explain the profit taking areas more, because it's very simple. And obviously you can replace resistance with moving averages or order blocks or whatever. I mean, let's use an example here. Let's add the moving averages to FAT-BTC. Obviously, as you can see here, you can just, you know, remove price here, and what you get left here is something pretty fucked up, but nonetheless, you have the 200 simple here, this white one. Now, yeah, exactly. It's using a line chart is very, very useful when finding levels. I'm gonna show you how to actually do that, and God damn, time is really running away from me right now. But there's so much to talk about and there's so little time. I've got so much that I want to talk to you guys about and show you different setups and techniques and strategies and all that. But we have to take it one level at a time, one thing at a time. And yeah, so remove price and all you have is moving averages. So the first retest of the 200 simple here, or even the test of the 200 simple should, can be used as a take profit too, because that's most likely going to act as resistance. Add the price again, and you will see that 200 simple has acted as resistance every time now that it's been touched. So the next time should be, see a reaction too. So take profits on that one, and I like the fact that I actually like the fact that my take profit on this one actually lines up with the 200 simple. All right, so another thing I want to talk about, and you wanted me to talk about, was if I understand your question right, you're not really sure when a retest is a good retest and what makes a retest a good retest. And it's very, very simple. Very simple. So let's see. We got one level here. We have one level. No, we have one level. So price comes up. It's going to act as resistance. Resistance, right? We get a breakout. Now, when this area has acted as resistance and the next BTC pumping. All right, so we're actually testing 10K. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we're gonna take a quick look at BTC. Obviously, we're going to pause the whole altcoin thing right now and take a look at BTC, because it looks like we're testing 10K right now. Just like I said, it looks like we're getting a pretty strong move from Bitcoin shortly, and what do you know, we're actually getting that right now. So how is KMD looking? How's 0x looking? No major reaction right now, but if Bitcoin breaks out, it's most likely going to get a very, very violent reaction. KMD BTC, so I'm gonna bet BTC. Right, so bet is really tanking. 0x BTC. This one too. You know what, we're once again failing to reclaim 10K, so it's really... Yeah, if you're talking about trend lines and the fact that you get a breakout of the trend line and usually doesn't come down to test a trend line, it's usually because you have a horizontal resistance or a horizontal support in the way. So if you mark out your horizontal levels too, instead of only using trend lines, you will notice that price tends to favor the horizontal levels before actually bouncing off the trend lines, right? So check your horizontal levels, and if you have a strong horizontal support area just above the trend line, price is most likely going to bounce off that one, and that's why you do not get a perfect test of the trend line. So we're dumping on 0x. So let's see, we got the hourly close in 20 minutes. Where does the hourly close or hourly candle have to close for this to be bullish? Well, the first time would be a hourly close above 9.9K. That would be pretty nice. Super bullish if we actually close the hourly above 10K. That would be very, very nice. Now let's see, do I panic and sell every alt that I have? Probably not, but I should tighten the stops up some, because I'm in good profit, and no one has ever gone broke taking profits. Actually, some people do. If they sell way too early and their winners is going to be smaller than the losers, you definitely do lose a lot of money doing that. All right, so let's see. Yes, I think horizontal levels are way more important than trend lines. I very, very rarely even care about trend lines. For me personally, it's all about horizontals. Horizontals are the ones you should look at. All right, so KMD 0x BTC. So we're trying here. We really are trying, and I do not really have a problem with 10k getting reacted here. You know, getting a reaction of 10k here. I would like to actually see it get reacted here and hold this area around, you know, 9850 before we actually break above, because this structure that we're seeing right now is very nice, and I would like to see that continue upwards before we actually see a big break of 10.5k, right? So that's what I'm watching. So I'm gonna sell some of my Forex position here. I do think it's up such a big amount. I'm gonna sell some here. And KMD, how is KMD looking? It's actually looking quite good, and it's not really dumping, but I'm going to sell some of my KMD position too in case Bitcoin breaks out. Right, so let's see, KMD. So definitely have a smaller position now on KMD and Forex, but I think that's just a good idea because the fact that you might, you know, you might break down, right? All right. All right, here we go. So, I mean, when Bitcoin is moving like this, there's all I want to do really is stare at the Bitcoin chart, and it's looking very, very nice right now. It's looking very, very nice. So let's see. I gotta check the actual. So I sold some KMD here, and I should probably put in a stop loss for that position in terms of BTC. Yeah, so if you're basing your trading on trend lines, you should just, personally, I think you should just stop doing that. I mean, it's I do not trade using trend lines, and you might do that, and it might be a very, very good idea. I don't know, man. Like, it's might be working out very, very nicely for you. But in my opinion, like, horizontals are way more important than trend lines. So at least add the trend lines to you, the horizontals to your chart, and have the trend lines there at the same time, and try to find confluence between the trend lines and the horizontal levels, right? So if you see a trend line that's about to break out, and it's also confluent with a major resistance, the breakout will, you know, just be stronger, basically, because you have a trend line and a horizontal lining up, right, to add confidence to that level. Let's take a look at the BTC dominance. Yeah, we're seeing a move up here. If we reclaim this area for BTC dominance, it's just over for alts right now. And altcoin window that we have been playing for quite some time is most likely over. Yeah, definitely. It's asking questions is a great way to learn, and putting the stuff in practice is even better way to learn. So what you should do is ask me whatever question you have, ask me whatever you want, And for example, now you're trying out trend lines, right? And I'm telling you, like, do not only use trend lines, use horizontals as well. So what I would do first of all, if you don't have a journal, definitely journal your trades. And like I have a pen and paper and just a notebook beside me at all times. And obviously I have a professional trading journal too called Edgewonk, where I journal everything. But this right here is my it's like a mix of a personal diary. And look at this, BTC dominance is trying to get really trying to get out here. Now we're above, well, fuck it, man, we're above 10k. So this is looking good. This is actually looking like a very bullish move from Bitcoin. We are looks like we might actually get a hourly close above 10k, and that would be super bullish. But remember, guys, this could just be a fake out, just like we saw here, right? Like on the daily, for example, this is a daily fake out and this is a daily fake out. Do not trade this. Do not long right now unless you're doing so with very, very strong, low risk, because this could just be a fake out. That's why you have to wait for confirmation. In my trading style dictates you have to have at least a 4-hour open and close above the level, a clean 4-hour open and close. What I mean by clean one is that the 4-hour open and close that I'm looking for should not have any wicks touching the level below. And that's gonna happen in 5.5 hours from here. So I'm not gonna be doing any trades on this breakout for at least 5.5 hours. And yeah, I'm sorry about the camera. I'm ordering a new one. So I'm using like a professional DSLR camera, because before I was a trader, I was a professional photographer. So I'm using my photography. God damn, I can't speak. Sorry, guys. A professional camera for streaming, but it's not really working out as I expected. It's not made for streaming. It's made for pictures. So I've ordered a streaming cam, like a stream cam, webcam. I do not like the fact that I have to the lens on this one cost about $1,000, so I think like that's like way more than the webcam. I like the image quality. Whatever, you guys are probably not interested in that kind of stuff. My last question I think of right now is just the resistance and support boxes. Okay, so that's actually quite simple. Let's go down into the 15-minute here to see if we can 5-minute. Just to get some. Well, that's a bad idea. So I don't want to lose the BTC chart here. So I'm just gonna use a clean one. All right. So let's remove everything here, and I will take a look at, I will show you how and you know what I've just realized? If you press the button, I don't know what its name is, but it's below the escape key. If you press this one, you can type in your whatever. Okay, or can you just type? God damn, I did not know that you can type in this ticker just like that on the keyboard without having to go up here and actually press it up here. I've been using TradingView for 4 years and I had no idea about that. So yeah, what do you know? That's great. You can just press whatever and just press enter. That's insanely good. Alright, so Bitcoin on BTC USD on Bitstamp. So we're seeing some levels here, obviously. So we're gonna use the magnet tool here. We're gonna press Alt H to get a horizontal level out. So I'm gonna use this one, the high up here. That's a resistance area on the weekly, right? And I'm also going to use the candle open and closes, the open and closes here. You're very welcome, Alexandri. Wow, I'm really butchering that name. Alex. I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. So here, what we have right here is what I would like to call a resistance area, and a resistance area is the zone between two levels, two horizontal levels, right? And if you want to make it really, bigger, you could put it all the way down here at, to 10K, because 10K is such an important level, right? And you can kind of see how price is reacting to this whole area, right? You get, resistance here, taps the lower part of this zone here, taps the upper part here, and we're now tapping the lower part of that area right now. So what I do now is that I have two levels, two high time frame levels marked out, and also look at this. I mean, it's just very obvious right now, right? Get resistance all the way back down here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the rectangle tool here. I have my templates here, buy some soft, OB soft, whatever. I'm going to press the resistance tool, and it looks like this, right? We're going to select the high up here, and we're going to select that one down here. Press settings here, and actually I do not use the Burbicator that much at all. I have recently started to look at it more and more, but I didn't use it that much in my analysis. I actually use it more on Forex. Alright, so extend the zone to the right and to the left. Here you have a resistance area or a resistance zone, right? And as you can see here, if we go back to this one, that's the area between this range high and this range, this up here, right? This whole area is what I've just marked out on the weekly as a high time frame resistance area. So this is really the area that needs to break for Bitcoin to be bullish on the higher time frames. And you can actually also add the RLC here. You will see that it's actually right in the RLC, right between the 618 and the 702. So that's how I mark out my levels, and between those levels it's I can definitely help you out in another video with how to use the Burbicator. I don't really have the time right now to do it, but I will definitely check it out. What do you know? This is oh fuck, man, this is insane. Look at the hourly on this. We had the same type of shit happens here, right? And look at this Darth Maul candle right here. It's just crazy, taking out the short, taking out the longs. This is usually what happens before a strong move too, because the bigger players want to get some positions and they want to take out all the longs and take out all the shorts. Now BTC dominance dropping like a stone probably. KMD BTC, well, what do you know? It's not dropping too much, and so we're most likely got filled. Everyone most likely got filled on bad BTC on this one. So what I'm thinking here is, this is why you wait for confirmation, right? So if you guys noticed, like when I watched this pump, I wasn't really, I didn't really care too much. The hourly candle is gonna, if it closes like this, it's just crazy. So the reason like why you wait for high time frame confirmation, at least like a 4-hour close or something like that, is just you don't have to worry about the short-term price movements, right? So you can just relax and actually let price develop before you take a trade, because trading is all about being patient and actually waiting for setups. So hopefully that answered your question, Aaron, about how I map out my support and resistance boxes. So basically, to summarize it, what I'm looking at is when you have two levels close to each other, usually the area between those two levels are a resistance area, right? By the way, is the quality on the video or the stream good? Because I'm using another software that I did not use before, so hopefully the stream should be in 180p and everything should be crystal clear. If it's not, I have to do something about that. Well, you should never leave everything on in an exchange. That's not good security. Oh, perfect, thank you. So what I do is I have my trading capital on my exchange, but I have like what I do not trade with, I have on a hardware wallet. So it's always best for our open and close for confirmations with breakouts. It all depends on like what type of trade you're looking at. For example, you might look at this chart and you're telling yourself like, well, all right, so if we get a breakout, I want to take this trade, right? So you want to long the midpoint of the RLC. You want to take profits at all-time high for a good 80% move, and you want your stop loss to be below that area. Now you like this makes sense. I mean, it does really make sense for a high time frame move like this, and this is most likely something I'm going to be playing if it plays out. I really do like this setup, but what you have to remember with this one is when you're looking at a setup like this one, you can't wait for a 4-hour open and close, because this trade is based on the weekly time frame. So to really have great confirmation of this setup, you would want to have at least like, I mean, at least a daily open and close, right? And I would really like to see like this move, right? Just pump straight up and then come down and test this area. So a daily open and close above this area. And for extra high confirmation, wait, you even need to wait for like a weekly open and close above here. So yeah, so for shorter time frames, and what I'm trying to, thanks man, absolutely, thanks for joining. And I will be doing much more streams like this one on a weekly basis, hopefully two times a week. So definitely, if you haven't already, you're very welcome to subscribe to the channel and maybe leave a like on the video, because it will, like, such a small gesture from you will help my channel grow immensely. It's really appreciated if you guys want to support the channel. All right, so on the lower time frames, and I do understand that you were referring to the lower time frames, but the reason for showing the weekly was just to make it very clear that it depends on what time frame you're looking at. So let's go down to the 4-hour, and also it depends on like what's your style, what's your strategy. Personally, for me, I'm just liking, like, for BTC on the higher time frames, personally I'm just liking you know, for medium time frame trades, I'm liking 4-hour open and closes above, and for high time frame trades, I like to see daily open and closes above. But if you're looking at, I mean, this chart right here, go down to 4-hour. I mean, you did get a You did get 4-hour open and close here. Obviously that did not work out very beautifully. So you have to look at price action too, the history of price action, and see like, has there been any 4-hour open and closes above, but we still got a fake out, right? And yeah, obviously, yes, of course it happens. So you go to the daily and you see, have we gotten any daily open and closes above and still gotten a fake out? And no, that it hasn't happened, right? Daily fake out, daily fake out, daily fake out, daily fake out. So on this particular chart and right here, it kind of makes sense to wait for a daily open and close above this area for a move up here. But then again, it also makes sense to wait for a 4-hour open and close above. It all depends on like the higher confirmation. All right, so the higher confirmation you wait for. If you wait for daily open and closes above, that's obviously going to be very, higher confirmation of a level breaking and reclaiming. But the higher time frame you use as confirmation, the higher is also the risk of actually missing out on the entry. If you wait for a 4-hour open and close, which is my favorite time frame to trade, the 4-hour, if you wait for the 4-hour instead of the daily open and close, you will have a much higher chance of catching the retrace and actually getting in on an entry. Hopefully that sums it up. Now, most likely this this is just insane. Imagine how many shorts got stopped out here. and how many longs get stopped out here. So many people bought the breakout and got obliterated, or whatever it's called, down here. I should get a English dictionary book. I feel like that's very much needed sometime. Alright, so let's just... Bitcoin has calmed down. If you guys are seeing Bitcoin breaking out, please let me know in the chat, and we'll continue with the altcoin scan. So we got Tomo actually looking pretty good. Still the wrong chart. So I'm gonna go through a couple of altcoins again, and after that I'm going to go into the Forex market. So well, what do you know, this is actually, we're getting a pretty nice breakout here. So this in 1 hour we will have a 4-hour open and close above the resistance on Tomo. It's not a clean one because we're testing, like, we got some wicks here below, so it's not really a clean one, right? But let's see. And looking at the daily, I kind of think like, but we have the 200 simple here, so it's actually looking quite good. But I'm not really ready to trade this one right now. I gotta wait a while. WTC, this is just waiting to break out, in my opinion. It really looks like this one wants to break out here. So I want to see a reclaim the 200 simple, just like I showed you guys in my video from yesterday, or from earlier today. 80 BTC, holding this support, break this one, possible retest of 700 sets. That's what I'm watching. PPT BTC. We're now coming down to test the RLC down here. Let's see if we have any strong confluence in that area. We have the... So it's the RLC of this whole pump. It's the... let's see. It's the 382 Fibonacci level of this whole down move here. So I like that as confluence. Now let's look at the daily, see if we can find any. It's actually holding the 200 simple on a daily right now. I do really like that. I do really like that. There might actually be a trade here. Let's see. We are inside the long RLC of this whole move. We are testing the 200 simple. And it's very close to the midpoint of the RLC. Let's see, do we have a trade here? Maybe we do. So I'm going to add the 200 simple as a horizontal. Got this as a template here, 200 simple. And it's at 4279. Added. Let's remove the moving averages. So 200 simple is right there. Also noticed how if we turn this one into RLC, price actually got reacted right here in the middle of the RLC, and we're now seeing price back inside the long RLC, confluent with the 200 simple. And yeah, is there a trade here? You can kind of see how price is actually perfectly testing the 200 simple here. You know what? I do really like this. How would the trade look? Something like this. First trouble area is going to be up here. Stop loss should be below that area. Now I'm actually feeling like there might actually be a decent opportunity on this one, but it's very risky right now with Bitcoin probably about to break out, right? So I'm not really feeling this right now, but it should be a decent opportunity to go long here if Bitcoin do not break out, right? You know what, I'm going to wait for a bullish break in market structure, and what I mean by that is a move like this, right? Bounce here, got that level here, bounce up, reclaim that level, continue, I enter here, stop loss below that, great R, risk to reward, small position. Let's wait for that. And as you can see here, we're actually moving down now, so let's see what happens on this one. VET BTC, it's holding this area, but it's not looking very good. I would like to see a daily open close above. Bread, this one I like. Looks like we are potentially breaking the downtrend on this one, and what I want to see is this area get reclaimed. So yeah, if we reclaim this area, I would be very interested in a long on BRD BTC. I really like this one. Looks like we're forming a double bottom here. Let's see if we can find anything on the RSI and MACD. So, all right. So we were getting, not really, no, not really. So I'm looking for divergences here, but I'm not really seeing anything obvious. This is looking good, and we reclaim that area. We are most likely going to see a move higher. All right, so SIL BTC. All right, so I had someone asking about SIL BTC. Let's take a look at it. It's pretty much forgot about that one, but we got it down here, so let's take a look at it. So yeah, this is you know, one of those coins that just can't stop pumping. All right, so we had a beautiful retest of that area. So you can see here we get, you know, Just breakout after breakout here, right? Breakout, breakout, breakout. No proper retests after. So let's see, do we have any support areas or resistance area that we should keep an eye on? This area obviously, and this area. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't know about this one, to be honest, because it's been running very strongly. For a possible trade, I would be looking for an entry if we come up here and we come down and retest this area around 260. That would be my entry area on a rounded retest. I like that, just like we had, you know, here, 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 and here. I'm looking for the same type of price action, but this has really run quite a bit. So and usually a FA event like mainnet release and stuff like that, it's most likely going to be a sell the news event, right? So nothing you should care too much about. Buy the rumor, sell the news, right? All right, so that's everything in Bitcoin land and altcoin lands. Now let's take a hard look at a couple of altcoins. All right. So I took a long here yesterday. Bad idea. Bad trade, to be honest. And like what I want to do in with this channel and all my content and all my live streams and all the videos and everything, like I don't want to I don't want to try to show to you a, you know, perfect world with 100% win rate and Lamborghinis all over the place. That's not really the way trading works, right? As a trader, you will lose trades, and sometimes you will lose a lot of trades, and it's not always going to be easy, right? And I want to share with you like my winners and my losers, and this was definitely one of my losers. And if you remove everything on the chart here, you can kind of see that this right here was a very nice short, because we got the breakdown and we have a rounded retest. Here we have the breakdown, right? Then price comes down for a rounded retest and test this area. So now if I would only have price on the chart, I would definitely short this, because it's, you know, strong resistance here, support here, breakdown, first retest, short, right? But looking at the daily here, the RSI oversold, very much oversold, just like we had here, right? So when the daily RSI is oversold, you usually see a strong move to upside. We were not only oversold on the RSI, we are also seeing price inside the long RLC, inside the moving averages. We also have the 200 simple, and this is also something that's adding a lot of confidence to the actual short idea. Is we lost the 200 simple on the daily. We had a open and close below, a daily open and close below, and this is the first retest. So really, like I really made a huge mistake here, and the mistake I did was to let my bullish bias on this, because of the fact that the RSI was oversold and we were on inside the long RSI. I let that really cloud my judgment, because I'm a price action trader, right? That's how I started trading, and that's like my foundation, right? So all I used to do in the beginning, and I actually made a lot of money, and I'm going to try to transition back to that, because that was really a winning system and a winning strategy. So what I did was, like, I was just trading off price and sometimes also adding moving averages. I never really looked at RSI and the MACD and stuff like that. That's something I've started using recently. But this was just a picture perfect short setup, and I actually long down here. So why am I telling you guys this? Well, there's always going to be lessons in your mistakes, right? And a mistake isn't really a mistake if you learn something from it, right? And what I've learned from this mistake is, obviously, if the RSI is oversold and we are actually seeing a potential bullish divergence here on the RSI with a low here, and we're potentially seeing a new high low, that's obviously going to be adding to the long idea. But even if you have that stuff, you can't forget your, like, to look at the bullish case and the bearish case. You always have to put as much weight on the bullish case as the bearish case. And if you're seeing a picture perfect short idea, but you are in the long RLC and RSI is oversold and it's looking like you're getting bullish divergences shortly in a couple of days, if you see all that, you still should take the short trade because it's just so good, right? And the short trade is based on the lower time frames, right? It's based on the 4-hour time frame. This trade is based on the daily time frames. So you can't really mix short-term trade ideas with high time frame trade ideas, short-term trade ideas with long-term trade ideas. I mean, this trade right here, I would most likely hold for a week or two. This trade here, I will most likely hold for a day or two. So that's very important to remember. Do not mix together those two. So just for the fun of it, let's see how the setup on this one would actually look. We got the breakout candle here. We got this area right here, conflict with midpoint of the RLC. That would be my entry. And this is the type of trading style I want to get back into more. Entry right there. Stop loss should be above the thrust candle or above the highs below before that one. So, but I'm gonna place it above the thrust candle like that, and profit is going to be taken at the first trouble area. And the first trouble area, let's see, where's that going to be? Right, so you see price moving like that. You get the wick right, you enter right here, and you want to take profits down in this area. It's only a 1.5 hour, but it really looks like, it just looks so good, and yeah. So that would be the trade, right? And obviously you could have just shorted it all the way down here into, the low of the RLC, but that's, I mean, you could probably take some profits here, 50% here, 50% here. That would probably be the best option, but this is just hindsight trading and it's not really a good idea, right? So on the 4-hour, we're getting, are we getting bullish divergence? Not really. This is a low and this is a lower low. We're seeing right now, we're actually seeing, well, so we are starting to see, I mean, yeah, this is bullish divergence on the 4-hour, right? So I'm really thinking that this should go up, right? This should really go up. So we're seeing right here, low here and a high low, on the RSI and also on the MACD, right? So we're getting double confluence between the RSI and the MACD on the 4 hour. And what we're seeing right now is we got lower lows on price, and we're starting to see a potential higher low forming here. So the perfect long idea, in my opinion, here would be if we see a weekly, a 4 hour W like this, and we break above 4 hour open and close long the first retest like that for a move up into this area here. So that's what I'm seeing, and with the bullish divergence, probably shouldn't enter right away, but it's very tempting. I need to wait for actual confirmation. But that's what I'm looking at on Forex. So that's like my main strategy for Forex. And also if you add the daily 200 simple here, it's the reclaim of the 200 simple should really be the thing that takes us higher. So the trade idea here, pretty simple. Long the midpoint of the RLC like that. Take profit up here. Stop loss should probably be, let's look at 4 hour. Probably below this area like that. Yes, that's a good 3.72. So I like that. This, in my opinion, is a decent long idea. And we are seeing a potential bullish divergence on the 4 hour and potential bullish divergence on the daily RSI. And on the 4 hour, we actually have, double divergence, with the MACD and the RSI. And we're also seeing bullish divergence. Well, not really. We got higher lows on this one. But back here, we were really seeing, bullish divergence on the RSI and MACD, with higher lows on the RSI and MACD and lower lows on the 1 hour. So I think this is shaping up to be a strong move to the upside, but we really need to wait for confirmation. So here, we didn't get a 4 hour open and close. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a 4 hour open and close above this area. And this one wasn't really above, it's just right on the midpoint, so that's not a good idea. But this is what I'm looking at on Euro USD CAD. USD JPY, like the problem, and also I remember posting this in the Burbness too. I'm pretty pissed I did not take this setup myself, because we had a beautiful breakdown here. Breakdown candle here, that's the thrust candle. This is the last low, major low area before the breakdown. So longing this would have just been perfect. It's perfect. And we're now outside the short RLC. This is probably going much lower. But right now, USD CAD is one long setup that I'm really interested in. I think that one could really work out beautifully. USD JPY, USD, this one is now also approaching the, we're inside our long RLC. Let's see, we have no confluence, no daily, no weekly moving average confluence. Daily is moving into oversold territory on the RSI. Let's look in the 4 hour. No bullish divergence on the 4 hour. We are seeing bullish divergence on the 1 hour. Actually, we're seeing 1 hour bullish divergence on the RSI and the MACD, so I do like that, but I would like to see it on the 4 hour as well. And you're not going to just blindly long the RLC, right? I mean, it's such a beautiful level down here. If you zoom in and look at this area right here, you notice that it's being used as resistance here and support here, right? So it's just a beautiful, beautiful level that I'm looking at. You could obviously long it blindly, but it's not a naked level. It's already been tested here. If it weren't, you know, if you haven't had this retest here before, I might have long this blindly, right? But it's probably not a good idea right now. What I would like to see is a break in market structure down here, right? And that's most likely going to happen sooner than later because we have the 1 hour bullish divergence, right? So where would, let's say we have an entry down here, right? Or where would the profit taking area be? Well, the 50% fib would have to be the first trouble area, right? It's quite obvious, right? That's the, you know, major support before the breakdown. This one too, but I'm more interested in this one. And above that area we have this level. So, but that's, you know, so where would you know, long here, profit here, and if we zoom down into hourly, let's say you get a move like this. Well, thanks for joining, Bert Crypto. See you another time. I'm gonna end the stream shortly, so you won't miss too much. And there's obviously always going to be a replay of this one. So see if we get a move like this. I want to enter here, right? I want my stop loss below that level. That would give me a $2.5 hour. So that's decent. I like that. That's something I'm looking at. But I don't want to long the RLC blindly here because it's just not a naked level. Euro USD, this is just insane. This is like, I'm not really sure what to do with this one. So this is actually going to be the last one, or I'm going to take a look at this one and one more. But I mean, this is has really had a very, very powerful move, and as you can see, we have now reclaimed the 200 simple on the weekly, and we're even above the 200 EMA on the weekly. That's very, very bullish. But I mean, if you look at the daily RSI, it's very much overbought here. But I mean, the RSI can really stay overbought for a long time. So you can't go only on that. What you have to look for is bearish divergence on the 4 hour and a break in market structure. Right now it kind of looks like this one just wants to run, basically. So I'm going to take a look at the hourly time frame because I'm actually seeing some interesting fundamental reasons for why the euro could actually outperform the dollar, but I don't know, man. Like, I do not really know. So we're getting a breakout here, right? And what we're looking for in this case is the last highs pre-breakout. Let's add that as a buy zone. I'm really interested in getting in on this move, honestly. So this is the support area one should buy if interested in this, jumping on this move to the upside. It's definitely that support. And the stop loss should probably be, like, the stop loss needs to be at an invalidation area, because you don't want to get, like, I shorted this and I had my stop loss level at an area where if I get stopped out, our price were most likely going higher, and that's exactly what happened. Now, if I long this area, I should have my stop loss at an area where if we break below, we are most likely going to head much, much lower, right? So we have some areas in mind, and it's first going to be this red box resistance here. Obviously the weekly 200 simple, if we lose that one, we are most likely going to head lower, right? But we also need to find profit taking areas, and I mean, honestly, let's see, where's the RLC on this one? Yes, I mean, for a big move, I'm thinking if this one continues, I would like to ride it all the way up into the RLC, the short RLC, right? So in that case, we could definitely have our stop loss all the way down here. So I'm liking that. Would take profits probably, just let it run with a trailing stop. So let's see, what do we have here on the 4 hour? Well, the 4 hour closes in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let's see the hourly. We did alright, so if this hourly candle closes above here, we have a 1 hour open and close. Not really perfectly, because as I explained earlier, I wanted to have it clean open and close above. But I would most likely want to, let's see, could very well long this like this, have no profit, take profit orders on this one, and just let it run, right? Like that. Stop loss should probably be below this area, and take profit would be probably up in this region here for 2.5 hour. So I'm liking that. That's a decent trade in my opinion. Would obviously risk much lower on this one because of the fact that our size oversold, and yeah, basically only that. It's probably just the greed talking now, but this level down here also seems like a pretty good stop loss level. So before entering anything on this one, I will wait for a hourly open and close on this one. Actually, I have to make a new list here with because I can't view the colored lists on my phone, so I will have to FX plans. So I will, which one am I looking at right now? I'm looking at EURUSD. So I'm going to add to FX plans, add to FX plans. This way I can check it on my phone, and I have the actual TA done on my desktop, so I'm not going to have any problems with trading on my phone. Like I have a rule that says do not take any trades where the TA is based on, you know, your phone. If you done all the TA on your phone, do not take the trade, right? Because it's easy to miss out on a lot of stuff when charting on the phone, right? Euro GDP. Actually, guys, I'm feeling pretty tired, and I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with this. And again, if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you want, please leave a like to the video. It will help me much more than you realize, and I would really much appreciate that. Alright guys, so thanks for sticking around. You've been with me for 2 hours, which is pretty impressive. So if you have any questions or anything, just hit me up in if you're a member of the Bird Nest. You can hit me up there, but it's the best thing you could do is leave a comment on the video with what request you want, and it's the same if you're watching this on as a replay. If you're watching this on as a replay and you want me to chart anything for you, just leave me a comment in the section below and I will take a look at it for you. Alright guys, so that's it, and thanks a lot for joining, and see you guys next time.